Love and Light. I'm your host, Dr. Jane Mountrose, and I'm pleased to be here with my partner and co-director of Awakenings Institute, Dr. Phillip Mountrose. We're both spiritual coaches, healers, and guides and ministers who love to reach into the vast realms of spirit to enrich our lives and open to more love and light for both for ourselves and for the world, which is the ultimate goal, I think, if you look at the broader purpose. This week, I'm very excited. We're going to reflect on life purpose, our best possible life, as we tune into the blessings of the fall season, which is clearly upon us here today. It's getting cooler. And the more reflective months of the year where we turn inward, the quality of our lives enters more into our awareness and our thinking. So it's a wonderful time when we feel the draw to the soul to explore what's meaningful to us, to really in the depths of our hearts. And it's interesting where society is, unbeknownst to most people, our life purpose, which is our soul's calling, is actually our reason for being. A life that's in harmony with this calling is the life that makes us feel most vibrantly alive. It also is a reward in itself. I think it takes us from a place where we're trying to meet expectations of others for how we're going to live our lives to focusing on what brings us the greatest sense of fulfillment within ourselves. So it's a really wonderful, it's a journey, actually. The challenge is, of course, how to get there. And as I mentioned, it's a journey. It's a place of connectedness with our soul's deepest callings that evolves as we evolve. So we'll see where this takes us. I think we are set up now to have an oracle reading and definitely a special meditation that will reveal itself in our time together. So as always, I want to thank you for joining us and being emissaries of love and light for the world. The circle is here every week at this time for us to light up our lives and help us to heal, grow, and stand up as beacons of light for the world. It's a wonderful time when we collect the light and then we share the light. I want to remind viewers to say hello. If you're new, let us know where you're from. And as always, feel free to ask questions about topic that hear about life purpose or share your comments and insights. We appreciate hearing from you. So one more thing before we start, which we do every week, is just to take a moment to settle in, to be more present in our bodies and more present to our time together. So if you're in a place where you can close your eyes and feel safe doing so, this is a good time just to close your eyes and focus on bringing in the most amazing possible breaths from the universe, loving, joyful, whatever, peaceful, whatever appeals to you. Just taking a few nice, welcoming breaths. And feeling the light moving through your body, releasing with the exhale anything that's not serving you. Taking this time just to be. Wonderful. And I see already Babs is here, and Nikki and Lisa. I don't want to, I'm not trying to pronounce it. Lisa Capola Matrioni. Thank you for joining us. So Phillip, I'd like to turn to you now and ask you to share a little bit about your perspective on this, about your best possible life and life purpose and all of that.
Your best possible life sounds appealing, doesn't it?
Yes.
Something we can
Why
all
not?
agree to.
Right.
And what that is would be unique for each of us based on our gifts and talents and our inherent nature, which means we want to find out what that is and develop it. That's sort of the key hidden in plain sight. And after a while, after you get a little more mature, after a little time, you start to see, hey, I really do like this. I really do want to go further into developing my ability to serve people or write or create things, or maybe being a leader or a researcher, a teacher, some combination of that. And that can change too over time. So whatever you're good at is natural to you. There's a lot of grace and ease in that, which is interesting. We often feel we have to do things that are unsuited for us, and temporarily we do need to do that, and there is maintenance in life. But the life purpose is this big, rich prize, the crown jewel that we can keep discovering and finding and exploring and going further with. And recently I wrote a blog article we put up in our life coaching, the gettingthrough.org/life-coach, on the 3 must-haves for your best life, which we can talk about. Your best life meaning your life purpose in this case.
Right. Yeah. And I think, as suggested, we're talking about a journey, not a destination. I think some people think that, well, I'm going to discover my purpose and then just go from there. It's kind of like, or you find your Prince Charming and live happily ever after. It's not exactly like that. It's a revelation, I think, when, for one thing, when we realize we have a purpose. Most people on the planet still don't realize that they're here for a reason. And then once we do, as Phillip suggested, it involves understanding more in depth who we really are. And when you think, well, I'm going to take the things that bring me the most joy and combine it with my gifts, what are my gifts? We all have them, and we may not know that we have them. So part of the journey is discovering more about our divine nature and then following the path. Life reveals itself one step at a time. It's not just like fixed, here it is, and it's done. And it's shifting as we shift. It's like, if you look at it as a timeline, our timeline is based on our perspective. In other words, just as an obvious example, if we're focused on love and light and creating a better world, that's the direction we're heading in.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing our part in creating that.
Mm-hmm.
If we're thinking, well, everything's just a mess, there's no possibilities here, we kind of, our energy goes down. Also, if you look at aliveness, and we're kind of like wallowing in the mire or caught in the dumps, or however you want to describe it, a prison of our own making. So our purpose is going to evolve as we evolve, and hopefully in the direction of more love and light. Mm-hmm. That's really the key. And right. The love that we hold in our heart really is where we also hold our truth.
I'm reading a book, a memoir, which is really fascinating, by Jacques Lutheran, Let There Be Light. He was a man, 8 years old. He became blind. He had an accident as a young child. And he had this wonderful life. He actually became a resistance person against the Nazis, and he was imprisoned in that. But he had this wonderful life and this rich inner life. And he said at first, when he discovered, when he was blinded, that he could see sort of everything and feel everything inside of himself. Mm-hmm. But as soon as he doubted it, as soon as he became in fear, it all went away. He felt very lost and confused.
Mm-hmm. That's a good example of how our perspective affects our timeline. Because if he allowed himself to stay in that place, his book wouldn't be here, for one thing.
No, his wonderful life and example that he lived and he shared with us.
Yeah. And his gifts could not have been brought to bear. Mm-hmm. This is a little gift of ours, Mr. Buddy. He is our buddy.
Our buddy,
he enjoys the energy of the love and light. Yeah. Don't you, sweetie pie?
So just to complete the lead from a moment ago about the 3 keys for your life purpose, for your best life, what are they? They are getting the right knowledge for you, because there's something you want to do and be and create, right? So you need certain relevant knowledge.
Yeah. Can I give an example here?
Yes, please.
Phillip and I we were well, we've been around for a while, you might notice. And when we were first married and together, he was a teacher and I was an architect, and we were pretty satisfied with what we were doing at the time,
Mhm.
earlier in our adult lives, and then we weren't. The energy, what I said about aliveness, the aliveness started going down, and we knew we had to change something, which led us actually to healing and learning. We went into a completely different place. So we did have to gain a lot of knowledge to
Mhm.
move into our purpose. That's what I was wanting to say.
Mhm.
Um, and who knows where the journey might take you, but but learning and knowledge is a really important part.
Right. And we're not talking about just gathering information or collecting data or chasing shiny objects. And it's fine to do that maybe sometimes as a break or just curiosity. Uh, if you get consumed by it, then it is a problem.
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
but the knowledge we're talking about is very relevant. So if we're talking about coaching and healing, what we do for a living in our training programs and our publications, so we research and explore and experiment with a lot of coaching and healing information and related information.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And it continues. We still are learning and um,
Right.
amazed at the depth of the journey that it continues. And we're all being guided too. If we're following the callings in our heart, then we're going in the right direction, and we'll take that one step at a time forward, which is really beautiful.
So the second must-have for your best life, your life purpose, is finding the right tools and practices. Of course, we like the holistic EFT, the emotional freedom technique tapping, which many of you know. It's pretty well known in holistic circles because it works so well and it's very easy to do, to tap these key pressure points
Hmm.
like
Just
I'm
about
doing.
anybody can do it.
Yeah,
And
very
that's another
easy.
thing that we really like. We focus on things that anybody can do.
Right. And we had an additional holistic element by tapping the top of the head we call the reset for left right brain integration and breathing, and tapping your heart.
Integrating the head and heart. Yeah.
So that's a good practice and a tool for, in our case, coaching and healing, but it could be good for you in other areas as well.
Hmm. Right. And it is, I think, that idea of following the next bright, shiny object is to
Mhm.
realize that when you come across something new, generally something interesting, like spiritually or whatever it is, it's like there's a honeymoon period. Like,
Mhm.
oh, this is the greatest thing. I just love this. And then maybe something happens that distracts you, or uh, a challenge reveals itself, like, well, this is great, but it's not as easy as I thought it would be. I'm not sure if I'm devoted enough to pursue it. Um, but it is important. You have to. I think for us, we feel
Mhm.
like we were able to succeed with what we were doing because we kept doing it. We weren't going to. There was no place else to go as far as we were concerned. We were
Right.
following our purpose, and this is what was happening,
And
and
your
it did.
purpose, another way of saying that is following your heart.
Right. Yeah.
And the third must have after right knowledge and tools for your life purpose, your best life, is support. We're
Yes.
here. There's a reason why there are other people on the planet. We have relationships, and that's one of the most important things in living our life, having quality relationships. And here's the challenge. I'm going to read from the new blog post we have on our gettingthrough.org/life-coach site. 2021 American Perspective survey shows that Americans report fewer close friendships than ever, and respondents claimed they talk and rely less often on friends for emotional support. So there are many reasons for this, including many people work long hours, they move to different locations, cell phones and social media can actually sometimes isolate you in certain ways, especially excess social media as well. So
Hmm.
that's the challenge, to find some people, like-minded souls that you can really connect with and relate well to.
Right. Right. And it, um, to me, I think it is not, it, I don't want to make it sound dictatorial or anything, but it really, to me, is not an option of whether you develop those relationships or not. Because these are the people who are going to support you in hard times when you're questioning yourself, when something comes to you. Like, we receive a lot of guidance, and in recent years I've received guidance that really questioned or challenged my beliefs in really severe ways. And I think without having the spiritual friends, including Philip, of course, and others, I don't think I would have been able to make it through that at all. I just couldn't have. And I think this also extends to the beings of light who are supporting us in the higher realms, that at some point we have to, I think, connect with them, because they offer another layer of assistance to us.
Right. And I'd like to ask those people watching, people like Lisa and Nikki and Babs, how they see support, how they understand what support is, quality support for them or their life. So that'd be great if you want to just put a thought into the comment box. That would be great.
Right. And it is, the circle is one way that we connect with like-minded people. And I think you can meet people you could connect with more deeply on Facebook or whatever.
Like-minded dogs too.
Like-minded dog. I also mentioned we were going to do an oracle reading.
Right.
And we forgot to close the back door. There's
that's okay.
Barking occurring, but anyhow, I was thinking we have a lot of different oracle decks that we use too, for it's like synchronous insights that can really help. And I'm going to choose a card from this oracle deck called the Masters of Light Wisdom Oracle from Catherine Skaggs. And this is an illustration. It's a portrait that she created herself. Each of the cards in her deck are portraits of a being of light, and then there's a message with it. And in many cases, the beings of light who she's presenting are ones that we may never have heard of, that she met through her own intuition. She's an intuitive artist. And she says, many beings of light have made themselves known to me over the years. Each brings its signature imagery encoded with light frequencies and sacred symbols activating consciousness. Each painting constantly transmits energy, light, and healing into this world, whether viewed or not. Those who view the art and connect with it intentionally receive the energy activations directly. So I think she's a great example of a person who is living her purpose, that she's been doing this for many years and has is brave enough to to show herself to the world. There's a message here from Babs. She says, being with like-minded people is so important. Being in class with Awakenings last year, that's our institute, of course, was such a blessing and very important in my journey. And I think that's true. I think it's important relationships as the trainers. The relationships are important to us too. So thank you, Babs. So this is the back of the card, which is she associates with, gosh, that's interesting. She associates this with Archangel Metatron, who is a real guide for me. When I turned it around, the card on the other side is Archangel Metatron. Maybe that's the card for us. That's what I'm feeling. Because
that sounds good.
It's so funny. Archangel Metatron came to me a few years ago and really helped me to take my next steps, and it's been just amazing. So that's obviously the the illustration. It's interesting because most of them are portraits, like, that Catherine Skaggs created, just very interesting, enlightening portraits.
Deep, rich colors, based.
Right. Yeah. So this one is Archangel Metatron's keyword of his message is awakening. Expect sudden inspiration, spiritual downloads, increased intuition, and expanded awareness. It says. There's a note from Nikki here too. For me, the support comes on a non-physical mode, but sometimes I need the personal contact. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just read a little bit from about this awakenings message. And it's so beautiful to me that we would receive Archangel Metatron. Metatron is an archangel and ascended master who oversees the Akashic records, timelines, and multidimensional realities. Metatron is devoted to the spiritual evolution of humanity and Earth. He works with the vibrational energies of the cosmos to raise the consciousness and to transform soul awareness. With higher frequency crystalline light and sacred geometric structures, Metatron illuminates and awakens your light bodies and the light codes in your physical and spiritual DNA. Metatron has come to help you embrace the awakening of your soul gifts as the light codes are activated and your crown opens. Expect sudden inspiration, spiritual downloads, increased intuition, and expanded awareness. Be present and honor the gifts that appear. Imprints from past life traumas and old identities may also arise, giving way to healing unconscious patterns. If you feel disconnected from your divinity, your intuition is blocked, you're having nightmares or no dreams at all, you're on notice that change is coming through an upgrade to your energy and consciousness. Pay attention to your attitudes, feelings, and thoughts. It is time to refocus, take positive action. Also says, be aware of synchronicities that call you to a lighter way of being. I think having him here is one, I would say for me, it's interesting mentioning the oracle cards and synchronicities.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rather experience and choose? Remember that that what you focus on expands. You are more than your circumstances. Move beyond the external views that generate negativity, skepticism, and spiritual pain. Your spiritual destiny is calling. I think that's so beautiful. And we can just, if you haven't connected in the past with angels, the archangels in particular, they are available to a pure heart with pure intent and a desire for truth. All you have to do is just ask Archangel Metatron to be here now with us and to bless us with his energy. So you can imagine asking him to surround you with his light, which is often experienced as a beautiful, luminous, golden white light. And this is the thing with the archangels, that the addition, why I said that at some point connecting with the angels and masters is so important, because just being exposed to this vibration will raise your frequency over time. And of course, all of the things that I mentioned there, that you can ask him for activations, for support, for information, for so many things. I see Lisa has a note here too. I have a strong connection with the angels realm. I'm still trying to know what I want to be when I grow up. My life totally changed in 2020. Lost my hubby. Oh, sorry. So sorry to hear that. But very blessed with 3 great kids and 2 grandkids. Thank you for sharing. That's really poignant and also beautiful that you understand that you're blessed still.
Yeah, and I'm glad she's connecting with the Circle community, and she want to connect further with our other communities and programs we have and so forth. Yeah, that's
and
great.
It's so wonderful that you are connecting with the angels. To me, it's really about just asking in your heart to be shown the way, one step at a time, And if you think, what is the thing, or what are things, maybe there's more than one, And I think we may have more than one thing that we do as part of our purpose. What is the most exciting thing you can imagine doing?
Mhm.
What is something you do that just lights you up? And I think I would say you're probably fairly mature since you have kids and grandkids, like us. Um, there is an opportunity, I think, as we mature, to just open more to who we
Mhm.
really are
Mhm.
with all of our experiences in life. She says she's 63. Thank you.
Okay.
And that to value that. Society may not
Mm.
value it much, but it is very valuable. Your life
Mhm.
experiences and whatever it is that you feel you can contribute,
Right.
whether it can be family, it can be so many things that are our reason for being. It can
Right.
be connecting with the angels and sharing and inspiring people on Facebook, and who knows, learning healing as we did. That really that it was like, now I think it's almost like we see it as a second life. We had this life before, but the thing that actually marked that change is when we learned a process for connecting deeply into the truth and wisdom in our hearts. And then when we started hearing a very different view of things, um, it really opened us to a new world. And I'm so grateful to Metatron for being part of it. That was that was really beautiful. I'm so happy. So, do you feel like you're ready for the meditation, Philip?
I do.
Okay. So Philip's going to guide us. I don't know where he's going to take us.
I don't actually know myself, although I have some ideas that will flourish going deep into the
Yeah,
moment.
well, we can maybe include Archangel Metatron.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
definitely
such
we want to do
such
that.
beautiful energy. I'm so grateful for him.
Yes, it's great to have him here on our team, in our circle, or we're in his circle.
Hmm Bab
Both.
said Metatron keeps showing up in my life, your life too.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things I really appreciate about Metatron is he's just so clear. He's considered to be, by some, one of the angels that's closest to the creator. And his energy is really beautiful and pure and loving, of course. They're all loving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're
Mm-hmm.
ready.
So if you'd like and it's safe, close your eyes, relax. Start to take some nice, slow, deep breaths in through your nose and slowly release, exhale, taking back in all your own energy, inhaling and slowly exhaling, releasing anything you don't need, any excess or extraneous energy, breathing that out, letting go. Breathing in more wonderful light energy throughout your whole body, exhaling, releasing, letting go. And making any adjustments to let your body become more relaxed, lighter, at ease, even more relaxed and lighter. As we open up to a place, a fertile ground where we can discover and explore and realize our unique life purpose. It's a beautiful place. It's a natural place. It's a place in our heart where love and light resides, flourishes, and expands. And this beam of light, which connects you with all the universe, exploding into light in all directions, helps give you direction and guidance. Your intuition knows how to get there instantaneously. And you're there in a fertile ground, a ground which allows your gifts to be supported, nurtured, and flourished. And as your gifts are used, they expand like a muscle. The more you use your gifts, the better, the stronger, the more expansive they become. As Catherine Skaggs says, your spiritual destiny is indeed calling you. It's calling you, and with your gifts, you are fully prepared, even for what you don't know. And much of where we are going, we don't know, the unknown. And in that uncertainty, we know we have our gifts, we have our others that we know, those that are close to us in our support circles, and those who will be in our support circles in the future, coming to us now. All this fertile ground, this beautiful landscape we traverse on in a way that's right for us. We can explore it. We can go high or low, any way we wish to explore this beautiful landscape using our strengths. Maybe it is our ability to serve and help other people, to be more caring. Maybe it is to be creative in different art fields. Maybe it is to research different areas or be a leader in some way, or teacher, or something else. So all these gifts are there, which you have used and will be using even more as you become more aware of your purpose that your soul has designed to co-create with you in this lifetime. It is indeed an activation, which is just a marking of more energy coming into your heart and being now. Breathing that in with more light, more synchronicity, more intuitive knowingness into your heart and your whole being and aura right now. Just knowing that you can be more and more in the right place at the right time, right now, with the knowledge you need, the right tools and practices. The support is there, the inner support and the outer support. Beings within and all the people you know and will know, the relationships that you have that you support and support you. Breathing that in. And before I bring in Metatron, Jane, do you want to add to this?
Oh, just I appreciate um, you sending us to this beautiful world, because I'm seeing a world I've never seen before. It's like there is actually a landscape with flowers that are so vibrant and fragrant and colorful, and it's like beauty beyond belief kind of in
Mm-hmm.
this reality, and I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, otherworldly, heavenly,
Right. Yeah.
heavenly colors and shapes and
Hmm.
landscapes which we can integrate into the earthly life.
Right.
The higher dimensions are here in the earthly dimensions
Hmm.
right now.
Hmm.
So let's bring in Metatron and receive some of his wisdom and love in this moment. Yes, I am here, dear ones, with much love, much heartfelt connection to you and all of you who are hearing or watching this. We have so much love in our heart for you to help you expand your heart. And your heart is filled with much love and light too, but much of it is like a dimmer that needs to be raised. You can raise that gradually in a way that's right for you. And as you gain more love and light in this moment right now, you see more, you feel more, you can discern more too, where to guide and direct the light and love from your hearts and actions, what you say and think and feel. Let that naturally flow through you to other people, and that will realize your life purpose. That will help you be in your life most fully. And the way you can be most fully is an instrument of the divine, which means using your gifts, gifts from the divine, gifts which are reflections of the higher universes. Use those, the things that you love, to help you love and to help others love and find and fulfill their purposes and use their gifts. you see it makes a much richer, lighter, more loving world, doesn't it? So it is a continual connection of, as you soulfully feed yourself love and light, that makes you stronger and richer and healthier, making others who you are around in person, online, offline, on different levels, makes them richer, a more richer environment to draw from and be inspired and use as a resource as well. So with much love, we commend you for your efforts and your heart opening even more. With much love, Metatron. So that may take us just about to the closing. Jane, anything before we come out of meditation?
I muted myself because of barking. I think that with all the gracious gifts that we receive from the archangels and the masters, all the enlightened ones who are supporting us, it's important to always express our gratitude. So I want to express my gratitude to Metatron for being with us. It was such, for me, a very beautiful gift to have him here. Another thing I do now that I didn't do for quite a while is I tell them how much I love them. And I do love you, Metatron. I love all of the beings of light who are supporting me. So again, thank you. And the note on that is, I think I felt, well, what does it matter to them? But it does. They actually view us as being enlightened beings in a way that we don't even understand ourselves. They see the truth of who we are as magnificent spiritual beings. And they treat us accordingly. So I do think, I really think it's valuable to share our love with them too. They do appreciate our love. So I'm ready to come back.
We are ready to come back. I'll count to 5. 1, coming back. 2, using this experience any way you wish. 3, removing anything you don't want. 4, remembering what you do. And 5, opening your eyes, refreshed, alert, grounded in the room, feeling your feet on the floor, seeing what's around you, taking some nice grounding breaths.
Thank you, Philip. That was so beautiful. And well, such a gift, I feel. And I thank also Catherine Skaggs.
Yes, thank you,
Really,
Catherine.
really beautiful.
And Metatron.
Deck of cards. Yes, of course. Metatron. I think her oracle deck is pretty unique. And there are some, let me see if I can come up with, like, I just opened this one and I think this card I showed before, just the image was just very unusual. And the being is called the Pleiadian Angel of Dreams, which is interesting too. Dream anew, it says. Pay attention to your night dreams and your daydreams. They are your soul's guidance system. Anyhow, there's some very unique aspects to it. And I love also each card. This is another one that came up before, and I just opened to it again. This is Our Lady of Guadalupe miracles. Each one has a keyword. So, and here's, this is White Eagle, another beautiful, beautiful being, gentleness. So I just find these cards very inspiring and uniquely beautiful. And I think they're very soulfully true. You can feel the genuineness in her energy in them. So she's a good example of a person who's realizing her purpose. Not that we have to do something that big as
not that you have to
creating
be a
something
great
like that, but
an extraordinary artist. And she went to the Amazon to channel these cards and get the messages and talk with shamans and so forth. But you can do that from your own little place. You can go inside and have incredible journeys like we just did.
Right. And they're inviting us. That was, I think, when Metatron came to me a few years ago. that was his message. He said, it's time for you to access your full range of resources. And by that, he meant the beings in the higher realms and also the Akashic records, which is interesting. He oversees the Akashic records. Lisa said, every astrology sign has an angel, and Metatron is the sign for Virgo, which I am. That's interesting. And she has a gratitude. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, I think, well, he's here. I think he and Archangel Michael, and of course there are others too. But the two of them really stand out as being leaders, guiding us into this new age too. And I do want to mention, Philip and I, something we've been researching recently is the divine complements of the archangels and masters, because a lot of them present as male figures. And then we think, well, that seems like a little biased, although technically they have a balance of male and female energy, but they also, the ones who present themselves as masculine, have a divine complement. And Metatron's complement, her name is Constance, which is an interesting, they're generally the twin flames, the divine complements have names that are qualities. So hers is Constance, and then there are some like Hope and just a lot of different beautiful perspectives that they bring. And they're beautiful beings in their own right that we can connect with too. You just sorry about the dog. They're just not as well known. So we're kind of exploring how we can get to know them and more easily connect with them. The female archangels.
Right. Especially the Bible tends to have mostly masculine or all masculine angels, and Islam and other cultures have more feminine, but and some are androgynous too. Right. So there are many possibilities for us out there. There are, and they can all help us with our life purpose, the theme of this circle show today. Right. Yeah. And of course, at this point in the circle, and actually as part of our purpose, we focus on sending that light that we have been gathering in our time together out to the world, which it's happening. We're vibrating. Whatever we're experiencing, we're vibrating out. Lisa says, Mother Mary is very strong. I call for her energies for peace. Yes, she's beautiful. She is the queen of angels. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's so true. Beautiful. Anyhow, we're taking all this energy and sharing it out with the world. And just by vibrating love anytime, we're contributing to a better world. Quiet. Sounds like somebody's gardening that drives the dogs crazy. So I also have this little planet I get out of my drawer, and just imagine sending love to the planet. You can just send it out generally, send it to your community. Of course, fill your own space and area with it, and send it to places in the world that are troubled. Whatever feels right to you, to people you know who can use some love and light. And just feel that light surrounding the world. And of course, right now, the vibration of the mass consciousness of the world is not so high, but the more love we have and the more we broadcast love, it raises you could say what the norm is. So the vibration that people generally gravitate to is shifting, and the vibration is rising. So we can be part of that. And that's one way all of us can make a difference. Which, of course, I'm focused on love. Anyhow, it just seems like love is the answer. So
it's the easiest and most direct way to approach
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, and I like that from the meditation from Metatron, as you use your gifts and talents more from the heart, you expand the love and light from you to others.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I see Denise is here. Denise Martin. She sends, it looks like a rose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
Rose.
it's something loving. Another one actually that you were saying from Metatron is about raising the dimmer.
Yeah,
I
the
thought that
dimmer
was
switch. Yeah,
the light, the lights, you
yeah, the
can
light
dim it
we can.
down
Yeah,
or you can brighten it up. And it is interesting if you imagine raising like your level of happiness or
mm-hmm.
the level of energy in your body. You could just imagine if you have a meter or some kind of a device to
Mm-hmm.
turn things up and down. You can actually feel it. You
Mm-hmm.
can feel warmth and cold that way too. Like turn the heat meter up, and you can actually start to feel a little too warm, even when it's not that warm. And opposite, turn the cold meter up if you want to cool off a little bit. It's a wonderful technique. You were mentioning tools and techniques. He gave us one there. Well, he gave us more than one. Yeah, that was beautiful. A beautiful meditation.
Thanks.
Now Denise sent a rainbow. We love those two rainbows of love. So does that feel complete, Phillip, for you?
It does.
Yeah, sometimes you get to the point where there's nothing more needs to be said, which is where we are. And so would you like to share a little bit about how people can find out what's happening at Awakenings Institute?
Yes. For those interested in spiritual coaching and healing, we have an upcoming in about a week, 10 days from here, spiritual coaching healing online certification program, a big deep dive into that for those who are interested. Take a look at it at tinyurl.com/HOL coach. I have it in the chat here, tinyurl.com/HOL coach. And people might enjoy that deep dive into coaching and healing. It will be quite transformative and will accelerate your evolution.
Mm-hmm. We're doing, aren't we on Wednesday doing a
we're
talk
doing
that
we're doing a free
we're
talk.
giving it's a kind of a overview of everything that is in the course, which is quite a bit about learning about who you are in ways that most people have never done before. That's been very helpful to us, and just about focusing, how to focus and move into your life purpose more fully.
Yeah, I can show them that too. That free.
Is there a link to that?
Yeah, let me put it up and I'll give people the link. Let's see. I think they can see. They see it there? So it's the Life Purpose Coach Healing Certification Overview and Introduction.
I don't know what happened there.
It's not showing. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Something came up. I'm not sure what came up. I just am seeing all kinds of different things.
Okay. Anyways, it's going gettingthrough.org/life.
It's getting through is GETTINGTHRU.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, for the free dash life coach dash life dash purpose. It's a dash coach, so I'll have to put it in the or you can email us or put it in the chat if you want to get more information on that.
Okay, so also we certainly appreciate anyone who is here live or anytime and participating in bringing more love and light to the world. You can support the circle by following our page on Facebook. That's one way. Sharing the video with other people, with your friends on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube in some way, sharing with your friends. And also inviting your friends to join you in the circle, because then you might have something you can discuss together and take further in those valuable spiritual relationships. So this brings us to the final thing we do every week, which is send the love and light forward. into our whole week ahead. You can send it as far as you want, just all of that love and light, asking even Metatron to send to empower it even more. And you can fill your past with it too. Just send your whole life, fill your whole timeline with love and light. And with that, we're wishing you a wonderful, mystical, miraculous, wonderful week. So thank you for joining us. Hopefully see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.